1.5 acres out of 500 acres of land when you have so much Rastafari people who are homeless today and you still talk about one love?
How you feel as, being a granddaughter of his, like, seeing the commercialization of reggae and even Rastafari in a sense over the years?
You're gonna get me in trouble, you know. I don't like it. Me, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Bob Marley music should be free. Because it's for food for the people. Reggae is supposed to be on strike right now. Rastafari birthplace is in jeopardy. Reggae is supposed to be on strike. Anybody come down for Reggae Month, they have to come and find us at Pinnacle. What would depend?
What do you feel about your mom's sentiment that Rita should be a national hero alongside Bob?
Oh, yes. Why not? If Alexander Bustamante can be a national hero.
Donisha Bono Alexander straight.
Hello, people, welcome back to The Fix is going on here with Jave. And we have joining us right now the executive producer, new film out soon.
Coming soon.
Forwarding soon, right?
Sugar Dumplin.
Film project starring Oliver Samuels, Sugar Dumplin, executive producer in the building right now, director, activist,
Filmaker.
filmmaker. May I miss out nothing? Creative.
Slasher, so many.
Educator, cultural activator, government. Just go on, man.
Government.
Yeah, because we are, as creatives, we are government, we just don't really acknowledge it in that sense, know, because we move nations.
All right, I feel like we should be doing what you've been doing right now. So have that conversation fully. Go on.
Government.
Marley.
Granddaughter off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Donisha Prendergast in the building. There we go.
Yes.
Right.
There we go.
Greetings.
Hi, Donisha.
Hey. Sorry, it's been a long day. I haven't had a spliff all day. I know we'll be talking about a lot of different things, but this is me. So
Right.
Yeah, I feel like I have a spliff.
yeah, I have
every
a
day.
little spliff. I mean,
A spliff a day keeps the stress
keeps
away.
Babylon away, man. Like,
Keep Babylon away.
Yeah. It's
What's Babylon?
What is Babylon?
Yeah.
Babylon is a system that is set in place to oppress the hearts and minds and souls of humans, to redirect them into activating in a way that doesn't support their own evolution, but rather just individuals' vision of how the world should be.
You feel like Babylon has stayed the same, or like it has a new definition in 2025?
No, I
Or a
mean,
new face, if you will.
Babylon is no longer institutions and that kind of thing, Some people call it bad mind.
Oh.
Babylon is a little bit
police.
Usually that's how people.
An institution.
Yeah.
Police, but Babylon is really a way of thinking, a way of acting, a way of behaving that oppresses another person.
Yeah.
That's a Babylonian way of existing.
That's a
Or the biggest
different
Babylon
way
you
to
ever
look at
fight.
it.
What is the biggest Babylon we have to fight?
You
Yeah.
did have a fight in your life. That spiritual or physical sense.
I mean, there's a multitude of answers for that question. I think if we're talking about physical, the biggest Babylon I ever had to fight was the Jamaican government when I was leading a campaign called Occupy Pinnacle. This is when the birthplace of the Rastafari movement was being destroyed and built on top of by Lisa Hanna's husband, while Lisa Hanna was Minister of Youth and Culture.
Oh, yeah.
She had put her brother as head of the Jamaican National Heritage Trust. So, you talk about the biggest Babylon that I've ever had to fight. It was kind of that situation, because I find myself as a young person, as a young Rasta woman, stepping out of the Marley bubble and stepping into the world and being called to action and answering, and finding that I was ill-prepared in a lot of ways. As a young person coming in very naive, open-hearted, and not realizing the dynamics of a young woman leading.
Yeah.
Because my grandmother is who I grew up and I knew. I never knew my grandpa, and
Right.
I never really see nobody talk tough to Rita Marley yet. So that's not something that I ever experienced, that kind of you can't do or you need to speak or a certain way or You know, my grandmother is my role model.
Yeah.
So I kind of stood in that light and still do. The Jamaican government still have a lot to return to the Rastafari people.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, look at everything Jamaica, one love, Irie. I mean, it's us. It's all of our language, our image, our identity that brings in a lot of money to this country.
Yeah.
And look how Rastafari is living.
But what came from that during that fight at the time? I even remember you doing interviews where you basically there about a fight on Lisa Anna and I was one.
Yeah.
Like, what came from it in regards to, like, was there more heat on you? Like,
I mean, more heat on me. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. But I mean, I don't know, I'm a butterfly, you know, so like I don't really, you know, take on certain things. But what it caused for me was just a lot of mental duress at the end of the year, leading a campaign. For an entire year, I was living out of a tent on the mountain, you know.
by choice.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
But of course.
By
By choice.
Make it clear.
He's like, by choice. Yeah.
On a mountain.
Which part?
But
Pinnacle, the place we were trying to protect.
Mm.
So we
Set place,
occupied the place.
Oh, so it's like a movement,
So
like
you had
Occupy.
a movement he called Occupy Pinnacle
Yes.
of young people, Rasta women, Rasta men, children from all over the world eventually who came forward to help us to occupy the space to prevent the government and any more development on the property and to bring international visibility, you know? So for me, it's a crazy thing. Like, Donisha, you're living where? Why?
Yeah.
There's no running water. Like, there's mosquitoes. There is no security. Like, what are you doing?
and you say for how long? How long were you guys there?
For a year. I led the campaign for a whole year.
A whole year.
I had just gotten a scholarship to go to university in Canada. And I messaged them back and I was like, hi, thanks guys, but I have to go and fight this campaign for the Rastafari movement in Jamaica, and I hope it will still be there when I get back, but I have to do this.
What am
So
I trying to
they-
develop at the time on the space?
Homes.
Yeah.
It's now fully developed with homes.
So it's
So let me give you a context for what Pinnacle is so you can
Yeah.
understand
No,
why.
I wanted to know what Lisa Hannah's husband was trying to do with the space at the time. Like, what was their grouse?
They had adversely possessed 500 acres of land that once belonged to the Rastafari people and had proceeded to sell the land and build on top of it. So Rastafari, we were having legal battles with them.
Yeah.
And eventually the courts gave a notice to say we could no longer, like, there was no more grounds for us to fight. We could no longer go up there to celebrate or anything like that because people now lived on the spaces. 500 acres of land, right? What was left at that time was 120 acres of land that was still unoccupied. Now, our goal during the time was to identify archaeological finds to help us to show that we were here. There was a civilization of us. We
Yeah.
lived here. In addition to that, back in that time, if you know Jamaican land law, you couldn't bury your land, you couldn't bury your dead on land that you didn't own. And at Pinnacle, we had multiple grave sites. Because let me just establish Pinnacle for you for a second. So first of all, take away Rasta, take away the dreads, take away the music, take away the ganja, take away all of that for a second. Bring us back to post-emancipation, when African laborers were now free. What does free mean? So we're still on the plantation. And Alexander Bustamante is our backer master because he was the head of the Bustamante Industrial Trade Union, which means that him oversee all of the slaves. Okay. So eventually they brought in the Indians, right? Remember with the Indians came ganja, Korea and them thing there.
Yeah.
Indians were replacing slave labor. You had a man named Leonard Howell, who was kind of like a Marcus Garvey, who was traveling around the world via boat and had amassed an amount of wealth, money, and was influenced, like I said, by Garvey. He had traveled to Ethiopia and had witnessed the coronation of Haile Selassie and Empress Menen in 1930. So after witnessing that, coming back to Jamaica, he decided with his wife that they were going to set up and move forward with this organized, centralized, mobilized self-sufficiency. remember, say it's just emancipation, 1838, so it's still young.
Yeah.
Howell starts now to move across plantations. It comes from St. Thomas, come all the way up to tell the people, them say, yo, you're free, What are you doing? There's been a king and queen crowned in Ethiopia that represents the fall of colonial times. When did that on? All right, here what? Me and my wife have invested and purchased 500 acres of land up in the mountains of Spanish Town, place named Slagoville, to go and establish what it is that we look like when we are free. So come with me. And as he's moving across the island, ex-slaves are leaving off of the plantation and moving up into Pinnacle. These 500 acres of land. What that mean now is that Bustamante have an issue because guess what? One morning him wake up, stretch, come out on him balcony. And,
Doing him white man.
You're a true storyteller.
and him ting and him looking around and he's saying, John, where is everybody? And he must say, Master, a man named Howell has come and they have left with him. And he must say, what? Him start put on him trousers same time and them say, who is this guy? Alexander Bustamante had a vendetta against Leonard Howell.
Okay.
Now remember, fast forward that Alexander Bustamante became the first premier of our country, right? Okay. What if I told you that Pinnacle was a nation before Jamaica was a nation? 500 acres, 16 years of self-sufficiency of these people. We're talking about generational wealth that is developing. The Gleaner articles have recorded and said that them find all 3,000 pounds on that straw mattress and them thing there. Howell was bringing up big things. And how was he able to make this money? Ganja. Ganja.
Good old ganja.
Because the Indians, them had brought in the ganja seeds, but they didn't have any time to farm.
Yeah.
And then you have these free ones who are up in the mountains and them have prime land up in the mountains. So the Indians and the ex-slaves them link and start to exchange culture and start grow the ganja. And this is the development of Rastafari that you're about to see right now. A people who are leaving off of the plantation and seeking themselves and engaging in cultures that can help them to evolve spiritually. So when we look upon what Howell was able to do with Pinnacle, people small it up. Because now we have reggae music and that kind of thing, and it's been made into a caricature. But Leonard Howell was establishing a nation before a nation. So you see, as soon as there's a man named Chang, who was the one who owned Pinnacle Mountains.
Horace?
Right. No, not Horace.
Not Horace.
Maybe in family. I don't know. I'm not throwing no word. I'm just saying, sir. There's a man named Chang. And this Chinese businessman and Howell were doing business because we were growing enough agriculture up there outside of the ganja. We grow everything. Cause we have prime land and we have some caves with bat, dude and all them things. So so our thing turn up. Good. To the point where we were exporting ganja to the soldiers who were fighting in World War II. Don't play with this history, It's some serious history I talk about,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when Chang passed away now, the Jamaican government, after years of trying to destabilize the place and go up there and frighten them with gun or whatever it is, them couldn't move them. And as soon as this Chinese gentleman passed away, them put a thing in the newspaper to say that, Mr. Chang donated the Pinnacle lands to the Boy Scout Association. You know any Chinese person who go have pitney and give anything to any black people? And I'm not talking like that. I'm just talking about culturally.
Yeah.
It's
Never
just
heard
like
of
Jewish
that.
people.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of thing.
It's not racist to say
no.
something that's you're just being culturally observant.
I'm being culturally observant and intentional with that statement. So, what is the truth that happened? Some mats go on with Bustamante, and I'm not taking back my chat. Some mats go on. Because it's all England has studied what Howell is doing at Pinnacle, Remember, say Jamaica is a rebellious island,
Yeah.
And we are come off of Nanny of the Maroons that shook the whole fucking watch me, no man. Paul Bogle and them man, the Sam Sharp and them man, they just cool, no?
Yeah.
So when them say these Rastas come up in the mountains, they must say, wait. What's going on there? Them want really say what really are going.
Yeah.
So Chang pass away now. This is the government of Jamaica opportunity, and I call them the government, but it's the colonial government of Jamaica opportunity now to go up to Pinnacle and mash up the place, and that's exactly what them do. May 23rd, 1954, the same date as the Tivoli Gardens incursion, coincidentally. May 23rd, 1954, the government them send one bag of soldiers up there for trample on the place. We are talking about 5,000 people who are living up there, you know, for 16 years. We are talking about granny and them grandpitney and them thing there, you know.
Yeah.
Lock up the people, almost 200 people, records we have, people as young as 13 years old, children.
Wow.
Seen? And this is now how you have the exodus out of the mountains of Spanish Town from Pinnacle into places like Trenchtown, into places like Coral Gardens. So the history of Rastafari does start at Coral Gardens and Trenchtown with reggae music, and that the history go back to a nation that was being developed.
Pinnacle.
Some people don't know about it.
Yeah.
No.
People
So you
don't know
can
about it,
understand now why it is I had to say to the foreign university, give thanks. But in this moment, something else are going on when we really need to put some attention to.
You never ever get a second thought.
No. No. How? You know where I was when this go on? I was in LA with Uncle Ziggy. And Uncle Ziggy wanted me, you know, come network and do whatever it is. Because I remember say it's acting I deal with.
Yeah.
And grandma was there doing some therapy. And I get the call that this is going on in Jamaica. And I said to grandma, boy, this is what is happening. I get this scholarship thing. And this is what is happening in Jamaica. And I said, grandma, what do I do? And grandma said, boy, my feet, them not working so good right now. So you have to be my feet. And you have to be my voice.
Yeah.
That's why I said if there was ever a second thought, no. Because I know what it means to be in this space. No government not going to send the police for go arrest Bob Marley granddaughter. How that look on international news?
Crazy.
You know what I mean? So I really just decide to use my platform for something bigger than myself. I never know what was going to happen. I don't know. I don't want to be a no blackness Nina. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, something I forgot go on.
But you fought and you did it for an entire year. And was there ever like a middle ground? Like, did you guys come to a middle ground, like, to say, okay, we'll take this, you guys get this, or seeing that they were saying that you guys can no longer fight, the court was saying you can't fight.
The government wanted to give us 1.5 acres out of 500 acres of land for us to put up a statue or something that says national
1.5.
heritage.
That's disrespectful.
You know what I say?
But then
I
they
said
don't want to make it a
1.5.
national heritage site.
Yeah,
To
man,
put
which
a
we did.
statue.
Yeah.
Which we did. But 1.5 acres out of 500 acres of land when you have so much Rastafari people who are homeless today and you still talk about one love? Come on, bro. On the serious, we're still here? We're still here. All right, cool. Here's my suggestion. Come and don't fight for that physical land because that physical land is gone. Give us the 1.5, I could put up the statue. But we also want the 498.5 acres that is still due to Rastafari to be put into a trust, whereby individuals and organizations within the community can write to this trust of crown lands, because it don't have to be land in one space, all over the island, where we can build our nation. We're talking about, I say everybody have repatriate, what name reparation commission and them things here. That's a good talk. Put your money where your mouth is. Seen? This is something bigger than the Ministry of Culture's portfolio. And give thanks for Babsy because she has been an advocate for it. This is also a conversation about justice.
Yeah.
In a huge way.
Yeah.
That I think that we're overlooking. A conversation about labor and social security. Because there are old people who are on them last breath now, who were there at Pinnacle in that time. So when them someday, conversation big, brother.
Big for real. Do you feel like what Lisa Hannah's husband was doing was a part of destabilization efforts to destabilize Rasta, or it was just something that was just, of course, just doing to
I
further?
mean,
and
guess
business?
what? When you have knowledge, you have an opportunity to make a decision, and you choose one or the other. So I can't really say no, it wasn't an effort, because I never seen him make another effort. Because what him tell us to do is we should buy the land. No.
From him.
No, sir. Are you?
By
Mad?
what is yours?
Are you mad? No. And when I first said it to Uncle Steve said to me, all right, well, how much this thing cost? Before anything even started, him said, well, how much the land cost? I could just think about buy it. And I said, no, uncle, this is not supposed to be a Marley thing. This is Rastafari history and heritage, the root. So it's we as a people have to fight too. And when I say we as a people, I mean bigger than the Rastafari and the dreads, just like me start the story.
Yeah.
We the people, because it was a nation that was being built, a culture that was being carved. And look at who we are right now. All of us have Rasta in us. All of us. Stop joke. You see what I'm saying? Yes, straight
Somewhere or the
up.
other.
All of us, because it is our Jamaican culture. It's a culture that was being born that naturally appealed to everybody.
So it's that you never want to use the Marley name out of principle to buy this land, which you naturally felt was...
Yeah, man, it's Rastafari.
Rastafari.
We must
Yeah.
fight for this land, because guess what? We could have do it, and we still can. But it have to be bigger than that.
Yeah.
Because then it become too easy.
Right.
And we have to fight and we have to talk about it. And Bustamante still have to be taken on as a national hero. He must be. Come on. When you check out that history, remember say him is the first premier of Jamaica, Is him put him name there, so
Yeah.
Come on, brother. I could talk some reality no man. I'm now call on no JLP nor PNP, whatever. Because that is just thing where we inherit. I was never a part of that. So I don't subscribe to that. It's true to what I deal with.
So earlier you said like when you had to fight Babylon in a sense out of the Marley bubble. Is it that you at odds with being a Marley, or you just want to exist out of being, like have existence out of being a Marley?
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting question. I mean, we all want to be more than is expected of us, or more than people project upon us. We just want to be us, So I'm not in no contention with being a Marley, 'cause that's my truth. I can't. It's here, so I born and I grow. It's Jah choose that. Anybody have any argument with that? And I have to go check it up with Jah. really. All right, this story.
Come on, I wonder if there's other situations, if you will, where having Marley at the end of the name would have help you get out, like you'd have get out that easy, as opposed to Prendergast.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to join line if we don't really want to per se and them things. That's just a reality of what, how the world exists. But as human beings, that's not necessarily something we want to necessarily feed into. Can remember say strange sun will come from, don't watch the star light and the star bright and them thing there. We still have a different root and different memory.
Yeah.
That we still maintain. And remember say we still Rasta as much as we is Marley. And so for me, that fight is still very present, especially when you look at something like Pinnacle.
Yeah.
Come
Right.
on. So I find myself in a very precarious place, because as the eldest of my generation, we have a whole generation come up behind me now. So there are certain things that I have to figure out, so I can also empower them with. That is just a thing when me know, so me just have to do. It's just so it's set.
Yeah.
So I don't sing. I can if I want to, but I don't. Because the thing bigger than that for me.
Yeah.
Even being an actress, it became bigger than that for me. I had to now write and direct and produce and understand how to tell a full story.
Right.
That's where I feel like you could have a real impact within that space.
Yeah, man.
Not just acting.
No, because then you just going to want to take picture of me and just have autograph and them thing then. Brother, you don't see how the world will run.
Yeah. There are other things.
Yeah, man. Don't me. I mean, I like to put on a pretty dress and those things, my heels and such.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, when it's time to take off the heels and go in at the dirt and them thing, they will have to be able to do that too. It's survival.
Yeah. Speaking on even that too.
How similar do you feel the Maroon situation is to the Pinnacle situation?
Yeah, man. Big up Curry. I identify a lot with what he's doing with myself during Occupy Pinnacle, to be very honest with you. As a young person, him take up something that is big because him have to. Because, you know, unless we write the story, who is going to write it? And when I say write it, I'm talking about RIGHT. Unless we write the story, who is going to write it? You know? So, yeah, it's very similar. And I want to give my support as much as possible to what he's trying to do and what he is doing. Because there is a conversation about our indigenous identity that we don't have. It's weird, it's uncomfortable, it's new language, but we need to start to really look deeper. Listen to the language that we're talking right now. Come on. Look at what them teach us in school. Spanish and French.
Yeah.
Colonizers. Hello.
We just want to learn new languages.
Yeah. You know, people have said he's a destabilizer, like them prop him up for destabilize the country.
Who? Curry?
Yeah.
Who prop him up to destabilize the country?
George Soros, them say.
Prop Curry up to destabilize the country?
Yeah.
Is who tell you that?
I'm like, where's Nara getting these?
Them say,
I wonder what them say about me.
He's one of the biggest proponents of this theory.
I wonder what them say about me.
They probably have the same say about you for real. Especially since you're endorsing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Bruh, who wants to take up that work? You don't sleep, you know. When you're trying to do something for the nation and you don't have an office and nobody's paying your money and it's not your job. I don't understand what people are thinking. People think it's just a normal, easy thing. Bro, you lose sleep. You lose moments with your family. You know what I say? Mental duress because you're taking on something that is bigger than you. But you know that you must and you feel something. There's a passion that... So the people have so much things to say, you know?
Yeah.
You just really can't get distracted. And if you want to know more, go down there then. And go meet him and go see what I'm doing and do more. The fuck. Instead of standing aside and looking. Brother, come in like mosquito, yo.
Annoying. Annoying. But going back to, we were talking about the Marley name. You're the granddaughter of Rita and Bob. And I wanted to ask you about the challenges because a lot of people from the outside looking in, they're like, oh, it must be, you know, great being the granddaughter. And you don't really see like the bad side to it, like how it affects relationships and friendships and things like that. So what was your experience like growing up as the granddaughter of celebrities?
I didn't realize who my family was until maybe like 10, 11, 12, 13.
So long it take you for really...
to really cue in because for me it was just a normal existence. You know, like we go on tour. Like we live on the tour bus for the summer. You know, like we sleep in different hotels every night. Like, you know, there are tour managers and there's a green room and there's like all of these people who are singing the music. And like for us, like this is just normal. Like I will go on stage at the end of the show to look who's dancing or could you be loved, depending on the set list that night. And like when we come off a tour, we go museum and uncle them a record and mommy them at the background and like, you know, we are run up and down and ganja bun and like, you know, grandma is passing through from Africa or somewhere doing something like a you know, magician through the place and talks of Africa and African liberation, you know, like this was our normal existence. So it wasn't until, like I said, I was like 9 or 10 and I had a best friend who had moved down from America. Me and her broke up because I was in a principal school one day, principal room, and she was a new student and I needed to take her around. So we became friends. So she never known me from before, right? Yeah. And this is something when I was looking back at this whole thing. Anyway, so we're best friends for about 2 years now, but she had never come over to my house before. And so one time now she comes over to my house. It's not nothing, she just never get to do it. One time she come over to my house and she's looking around and she's seen all of these things, like, you know, Grammys all over the place and my grandparents this and whatever. And like, She looked at me and she was so upset. She was so upset. She's like, why didn't you tell me that you were on Marley? And I was just like, what?
Why would she be mad?
What's it that? Because she thought I never trusted her. And I'm like, you know, I'm too young to even understand that it was a thing to you know, you couldn't trust people and about this. And so that's when I became aware of like, okay, I guess it's a different kind of thing, you know. And then I started to look now and realize that, okay, we do always have security. Like the man and them not just their own. And then it's not no normal people with their own. And like,
we are a big deal.
yeah. And like you start to really level up and say, okay, understand. And then I get into high school now and, you know, people start ask questions because my hair was relaxed. I never had dreads until I was like 18. Cause my parents never want me to have dreads. Cause I how Jamaica stay.
Really?
Oh, and I was going to Campion.
Like at the third of the millennium, they really start growing.
Yeah. No, and I'm going to Campion. Are you mad?
Yeah.
To go to Campion with my dreadlocks? Not at that time.
Not at that time.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if I tell you what year I was going to Campion, you guys probably... Anyways.
You like, keep on. I refer to yourself as a young woman. You know?
Yeah. No, but I mean, you know, like me and Camila were at school at the same time. Camila McDonald, who is like one of my closest friends. We grew up as neighbors. Shout out to Cami. So like... Cami and Cami's family, like they were doing it. Camila was going to Immaculate with her dreads, you know, but she had to brush it back so you could have the front was, you know, whatever, and then in the back she had to do up her bun. And it took a whole thing for her to exist. And she's a brilliant fucking woman.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So like my parents just never wanted me to go through that, and they wanted me to choose, just like how they got to choose. Because growing up, my mom and my aunt, they didn't have dreads either. Even though they were the Marley kids.
Yeah.
So that's when I started to realize, because it was really the teachers who were the ones who were like a little bit like bitchy and nasty, because they thought I thought that I was more than them because of who my family was, because my father is Peter Prendergast, so now him is a FIFA referee, and them time then my father go World Cup and them thing. And you know, but here I am just being like this free-spirited, happy-go-lucky, just like visionary young woman running around barefooted and like bridging the gaps between the uptown people, the downtown people, and not even just, cause I grew up in a Marley bubble. There are certain things about like class and them things that I never realized that we're so close. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, being a Marley is great. It's great, you know. It's also very challenging.
Yeah.
You know, my mom, and I'm just like, okay, well, how do I want do I want my son to be a musician? You know, do I want him to be an artist?
That's almost like a birthright.
Yes.
In a sense.
But even with you too, because your mom, you know, you went on tour with her. Were you ever like, do I want to sing?
Music,
should I be a singer?
Of music. I just decided I'm not going to be like a performing musician. I'll probably put my music in my movies. You know, a different kind of vibe.
Oh, so you can sing?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You know, well, I mean, let me not say of course, because, you know, then you're going to ask me to fucking sing and I'm going to have to be like, bro, are you guys paying me to do this part? You know, but no. Like, okay, I'm having so many people calling me right now. Hold on. Let me just tell my driver I'm on an interview.
Okay.
Noel, I'm here and I'm at Itopia Live. Shout out Itopia Live. Doing a live interview on The Fix. Shout out The Fix. So, you know, just wait downstairs for a little bit. That's soon come. All right.
So earlier I did mention about reggae being a caricature itself. I wonder if that's the reason why I never fully pursue having an active
music career.
Music career, yeah.
You know what really go on? I played some of my music for a sister. A sister who I rate. In the music, and you know, also was trying to support what she had done. You know, again, it's me just free spirited, like, hey, let's all be artists together and create, and you just
Jamaican sister.
And the sister was just like, oh, you sound like a white girl. And I was just like, okay, tear all of my heart up and just shit.
Let's just burn this.
All right. And after I got off the emotion of her saying I sound like a white girl, I was just like, okay, you know what? She couldn't handle me being out there. And you said, because we have so much work to do, it's all good.
So she did a Babylon.
In that moment,
Yeah.
you get it. In that moment, you know, just like I said, it's not institutions, it's how we think and how we behave. And it's our insecurity, you know, at that time, and we've evolved and that kind of thing. And anyway, one day if I want to sing, I will sing, you know.
So she just said that. She say, oh, you sound like a white girl. She didn't say, oh, maybe you should try this, or, you know, change something. She just said, oh, you sound like a white girl.
No, man, there's more to that conversation, but I'm not here for the mix-up part of the fix-up. I'm here for the fix-up part.
Fix up.
Okay.
As we mentioned, caricature, reggae. Why you say that though?
You do know that you can go to any of the national airports and buy a Rasta tam, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, made in China.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Who did I talk to? I wonder if I came on, if I've raised this with him or somebody else about, yes, so like the commercialization of even the Marley name and reggae, like, ooh. But yeah, like we've had those conversations before, like how you feel as, you know, being the granddaughter of his, like seeing the commercialization of reggae and even Rastafari in a sense over the years.
You're gonna get me in trouble, you know. I don't like it. Me, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I understand from a business perspective and food I eat and that kind of thing, but for me, like, there's something very sacred about the movement that I feel like is misunderstood because of how it's being commercialized. And because of that, it adds to the disrespect that we are experiencing. And it may not be intentional, but it's something that happened. You know? If it was up to me, all of Haile Selassie's speeches are free. So anybody can republish them and sell them for free. Bob Marley music should be free. Because it's for food for the people. You know? But guess what? If it was free, then I couldn't eat. And I couldn't provide a lot of food for a lot of people.
True.
So that's why I say I get it. You know, I get it. But at the heart of it still, there's a philosophy that still maintains that we have to be careful about how we feed into these systems that we have inherited, thinking that they will provide us the success that we search for. Because these systems were never made for us in the first place. We have to create new models of coexistence in order to really thrive the way that we can, you know, our truest identity, you know, and support each other through that and be accountable.
You know, you said it should be free, but you also, you know, far to realization, say without it, you wouldn't, you know, you able to feed yourself and other family members as well.
100%.
So where we find the balance?
Yeah, I mean, that's where I'm trying to toe, you know, the balance, because it's hectic. Just like I said, when you talk about curry, people don't just decide to just do this because they I've never been paid for the work that I'm doing. Everything that I've done is self-financed. I put my money that I make as an artist into creating the world that I want to see. The fuck with Depandro?
Yeah.
I put my money that I make as an artist into the world that I want to see. I'm creating. You know, so when people ask, oh, what do you do, Donisha, or your projects, that kind of thing. Yo, my life is my project. Are you watching? Because I am my art.
Yeah.
That's what I've come to realize. At some point, the artist becomes the art too, because we are storytellers. So I try to carry myself in that kind of light, and it's a hard place to be. You know, but like, bro, we live one time, and people before us did more with less. Marcus Garvey never have no social media. The man, they have millions of followers all over the world. Hundreds of thousands of people who he's speaking to. Who is speaking to hundreds of thousands of people right now? Artists are. So who are we today? And where would depend?
You feel like reggae been watered down over the years?
Yeah, I mean, reggae is also coming from humans who are dealing with real life things, you know, and responding to the world as they evolve as humans.
Yeah.
So I have some grace, more time, you know. But yeah, I think the fight has definitely watered down because of the commercialization too. That's definitely a thing. And you know, people, if you talk to some Rasta, them tell you them born reggae.
Them
don't listen to reggae.
Right now.
Yeah, because also reggae doesn't really, according to some Rastas, doesn't really support the real needs of the community. You know,
As it used to.
no. And I hear that, and in other ways that is true. But the community itself needs support. You know, we have so many factions within the community and that kind of thing, and that's something for us to deal with. But again, it comes from you know, having so much and having nothing, and then in a place where like we know we're supposed to be respected, but nobody now deal with us that way, and it's just like, you know, we become each other's, you know, punching bags in a very interesting way.
Yeah.
And I personally feel like some of the artists them probably fought in the game with those intentions, but as you know, money and stardom and them thing they fought about is like
It's
the mentality
shift.
is more like shift is more like how can I further myself? Or, like me have to please a label and all these things, and you know, like
Yeah.
self-serving thing was nothing wrong, but
No.
you know, like
It's a
with
sacrifice.
being in this genre, you know, so it's a lot
Right.
bigger than
Right.
that. You know,
Yeah.
and that's why
Right.
people question certain things that they do, because it's like, yo, based on the genre of music wanna do, the movement wanna part, you know, like it's supposed to be much bigger than one I deal with right now.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's also like on the flip side, looking at a dancehall artist and being like, well, we know, say you just a go be exactly what your music is because that's what your music is, and we only expect that of you.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that that's leaving us a lot of room to be able to be artists and also be human while being artists, and also recognize who we are as artists in our nation.
Yeah.
All of those things at the same time. So yeah, it's complex.
Yeah.
Is complex. I've had to do a lot of healing myself with reggae musicians over the past couple of years, especially because of Pinnacle. Because I'm saying, how can I be fighting up on a mountain for Rastafari and reggae still playing in Jamaica? Reggae is supposed to be on strike right now. Rastafari birthplace is in jeopardy. Reggae is supposed to be on strike. Anybody come down for Reggae Month, they have to come and find us at Pinnacle. What would they pan?
That's the movement.
What's been the response from the artist then?
And like I said, I have to be graceful because we're young people and we're, you know, not everybody's a Marley. Let me say it so that's before anybody else can say it. Because that's what you're going to hear. Well, Donisha, not everybody's a Marley, you know, I want my visa. And in the world, I'm just Donisha Prendergast. I still have to fill out visa form. I still have to do all of these things. Like I'm still just an individual who decided to use my platform.
Yeah.
You know, so it became personal in a lot of ways because I'm like, yo, this is the movement that we sing about. Here's the moment. Where are we? Where is it in your music? Where is it on your stages, in your stage show? Like, don't call me and say, yo, Nisha, we're so proud of you. Yo, yeah, do the thing, how everything going. Where are you with the lass? Why am I up here? I tear up my good skirt them because I have to wear a skirt because I'm a Rasta woman. And anyhow, I put on my pants, which I did. The man then bun me out while I'm chopping bush.
To this day, that's
To
how it
save.
is.
So there are a lot of dynamics again, you know, that as a young woman experienced within that time that really, just kind of just humble me and just be like, yeah, people are just human still. We have superhuman abilities, but still we,
Still fall prey to the
Yeah.
trait of being human.
yeah.
Real talk.
Deep, right?
Deep
Because
real.
I'm like, how would you bridge the gap with the artists and the movement that you have?
Everybody just supposed to stand up and know say it's the time. And no say it's the time. You know, the movement are gone. Like, it's all over the international news. People are moving and coming to Jamaica to come and look at Pinnacle. Pinnacle during that time became like a tradition. Like, people were treading to the Mecca because it was new information. You talk about the birthplace of the Rastafari movement. Them couldn't mash up the Great Wall of China.
Not a blood clot.
Right. So this is our civilization. Check me. This is our civilization. Yo, the thing got deep star because guess what? Lisa Hannah is somebody where, you know, is close to the family. You know what I'm saying? So them thing there is just complex.
Yeah.
Cause I don't want to be at odds in and uncomfortable and them thing, but I have to be like, yeah. So what's good? Because your husband is destroying the birthplace of the Rastafari movement and you want him lie down in the bed every night. You're just gonna be pretty?
So did it ruin the relationship?
We never really had a relationship. She'd come and take pictures with us during Bob Marley birthday. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like we're associates in the space, whatever. Everything cool still. You know, I respect her, you know, characters and them kind of thing there. But bro, do a better job at doing a better job. Stop fooling people and wear Bob Marley clothes and have him in the back of your thing. That's why I said, them think that's it personal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
that's when we become caricatures, because you think you can wear a Bob Marley bikini on the beach while we're fighting Occupy Pinnacle, and it's just going to be, oh, you were just wearing a Bob Marley bikini on the beach. Are you completely just like not, you're tone deaf, you're not reading the room? Or was that intentional?
Sometimes it's like you have to wonder that, right?
Of fucking course.
Yeah.
Like yeah, try to fuck with the mates, right?
Yo, some things go on when you're deep in the mission.
Yeah.
You know what I say? But at the same time, people will say, oh, well, you sure you're not being paranoid?
How much time would you get that from people? Like, you
What?
just be paranoid, like
Relax,
you
darling.
get the black sheep, Bob
Yeah.
Marley tag sometimes.
You don't see who I am. You don't see who I am.
Yeah.
And I'm just wearing black today because I couldn't find anything else to wear. I mean,
I feel like
What a
all of the
coincidence.
Marleys them are you and Kimani. Are the most blackest of sheeps.
Kimani, I said, oh, me, he get joined.
No, him say it himself. Him say it
no,
himself.
man. No, but you have to tell me that now. I'm going to turn the tables now. Tell me that now. Why you say me and Uncle Kim as the blackest of the sheep?
Would you, as you don't have the Marley name per se, one. You usually, at least in the news, are like doing activism, like full on activism. You know, so I'm gonna feel like certain things, like even what you just said a while ago about the commercialization, maybe some Marleys out there are going to have a problem, and you know that too. So that's why, like you say, certain things that will kind of go against what is,
Typical.
you know, yes,
Yeah, but I mean, I also want you to look at it as good cop, bad cop. You know, because just like I say, it's a balance. You see what my Auntie Sidala does?
yeah,
I can't do.
In
What
terms
my
of,
Auntie
in terms
Stella
of,
does. She runs the legacy. I can't. You know how many rooms she has to walk into as a strong woman
yeah,
to go deal with some old, I'm not gonna be racist and these kind of things, but you know the spaces
Old
that
white
she's
man.
yeah,
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
some
yeah.
old white man with some big belly and some, you know, you know, deep southern roots and them thing there.
yeah, you can't do that.
No, I can't do that. The
Yeah.
diplomacy that she you know, I can't do that.
like you're bonfire, you know.
Yeah, my fire come different.
Yeah.
You know, my grandmother teach me about diplomacy still, and I've learned a lot about how to be that. But I also know like truth just have to bust out like a river sometime. You know, like more time politician can't take a picture with me.
For real.
For real.
Like what tell me an instance where like one did try to take a picture of this. Hey brother, move.
You're joking now. Now you're going to get me in real problems. You know, me and the government just have find a little balance now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like me say, you asked me to introduce myself and I told you. Yeah, that's how I say myself. I just don't have an office.
But it's funny that you said that, because at one point anybody say you run in the
That I would
political
run?
office.
I would run for prime minister.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never said it in a political office.
Oh.
You know, the earth is a classroom. You know what I'm saying? Like, art is our tool for governance. I don't know that I will ever run out of an office. But I know my role right now. If and I said to my artist friend them before, like, if you could be a minister of any of these different spaces, which minister would you be? And what would your vision for Jamaica be?
Yeah.
That's how we have to think. Because if in 10 years from now, we are not in a space where we can execute this vision that we see, who is in the office? Are they doing what?
Yeah. This is why you have to encourage people to be active in these spaces. So
Yeah.
that
Active.
they can take over and then, you know, enact their visions and missions.
Yeah. And just aware. Because, you know, politics is not something that we embrace. We burn politics.
But still you have to be aware.
Except Ari.
His Imperial, well,
Yeah, I heard of it.
His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie, he was the leader of his nation. he was also the Minister of Education. Right. So whereas we say urban politics is just a framework of politics that we have inherited here, we are political. Our very existence is political.
True.
Yeah.
Right? And the sooner we embrace that is the sooner we get to the work that we can and should be doing. You know, so that's why I say me and the government, then we just start get a balance now. We're doing this project, Sugar Dumplin. Ministry of Culture is supporting it. Big up, Babsy. Because me and Babsy have had a lot of very tense moments. You know, because I have to stand in my space as an activist, even though, you know, the family, them call her Auntie Babsy.
I think everybody calls her Auntie Babsy.
Well, there you go. I don't call her Auntie Babsy. You know, just so that, and I have so much love and respect for her as an almost 80-year-old woman. She's a legend too.
Yeah.
Yes.
But at the same time, we have to hold space. So when you ask me about a moment, one year for my grandfather's birthday, they were opening up the Ritamana exhibit. And they wanted one of the family members to be there to welcome the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness. When they broke God?
Yes.
Yeah.
Brogard, why did they give this gentleman that name?
I'm gonna be among them.
He must be a man them.
And then he made up claim it. So
And the Clarks. I'm done. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
And, alright, so
It's Jamaican.
yeah, I hear you.
he probably tricks up the things sometimes.
Anyway, so they were coming and they needed somebody from the family. And, you know, so the museum, they came to me to ask.
Send Donisha.
And I said, are you sure? Are
You'd have
you
asked them,
sure?
yeah, sure.
In those words,
Yeah.
I said, are you sure you want it to be me? What, Tanisha, we don't have anybody else and you're the only one and you're the best speaker and this, that. Okay, cool. If they want to take a picture with me, I am going to need a private moment with them. And I went ahead and we made this arrangement. And that's what happened. I come and I put on my nice pretty dress and I come and I do my thing as a granddaughter. It's my grandmother thing, diplomacy, this. And then when the moment come now, we guide them into a room and we close the door with all of the media and the Prime Minister and Babsy and Mark Golding. And I took out a letter that I presented to each one of them. And I asked the media not to record anything.
Okay.
Because this is not that. This is a serious conversation that I'm having with you, Andrew, you, Babsy, and you, Mark, as individuals and humans within this time. And so, yeah, I read the letter and the proposition was about Pinnacle, the Pinnacle lands being a trust. And basically just calling for resolution. And of course, everybody is thrown off because nobody ever come for this. What is Donisha doing? Like, stand us up, guns up, like, all of the media is there. Like, anything could have gone. But just to show, like, we don't have to abuse power. Because in that moment, it was a lot of power that I had there. But this wasn't about that. This was about having a real conversation and leveling. So I don't take my platform lightly and what I can do, and I show respect when respect is given and where respect is due.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, we have things to sort out.
True.
Definitely.
What you feel about your mom's sentiment that Rita should be a national hero alongside Bob?
Oh, yes. Why not? If Alexander Bustamante can be a fucking national hero.
Donisha burn out Alexander straight.
Are we, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are our heroes. Our nation claimed these heroes this time. Why deny it?
And profited off them.
Come on.
Yeah.
And their music liberated us. Continues to liberate us.
Yeah.
So why not?
True.
Why not? That's what I say. But don't put them beside Alexander Bustamante. And that's not just me being little. I'm just serious. I forgot to take him off. Because him never do what we think and say and pretend. Let's be real. He didn't.
Yeah.
And there are other ones who are more deserving, like a Leonard Howell, too. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's on the next conversation. I'll go like this.
No problem.
About the family, isn't it? And where you fall on the family divide on the movie last year?
I know, goes in some really deep conversations here in this place.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
You weed too, second hand. Yeah. Where you did that? Because there was a whole, of course, you know, seemingly wrangling between the family about, you know, for the film, not for the film. We're not really
Really?
that much.
What was the wrangling? Tell me.
You saw it.
No, I didn't. No, I
Oh,
didn't.
that miss you, Donisha.
Oh, that miss you.
I made up on different things. I wasn't on media dealing with that. I
You
was,
watched-
you know,
you
it's my
watched it?
grandfather's birthday in
You watched the movie
Canada. Of course, I watched the movie.
I think what?
I read the script. I helped with the casting in
As
the
a
background.
filmmaker,
Yeah.
Like, you know, I wasn't on the production.
That's what I wanted to ask. Because, well, the question that I wanted to ask to lead to this was you being a filmmaker, because you studied theater arts at Howard University, right? And then you started doing filmmaking. Did you jump straight into it, or did you do an internship? Like, what was it like before you actually said, hey, I'm a filmmaker?
You know what it was? I went to Africa with my grandmother and had a life-changing experience with some young people over there who challenged me with a simple question. Like, it was my first time speaking on Africa Unite, which is a series of youth symposiums that my grandmother has in Africa every year during that time, where she invites leaders across the African nations to come into the same space as young people who are doing things on the ground to have conversations. I'd never seen anything like that before, where you have some big man and some little man. I'd talk about some real things, and the big man, them have to listen to the little man, the man, through art.
Wow.
You know, and film. And that's when I started to fall in love with film being used as a tool for social impact. My grandmother curating these spaces, you know, and she said to me at that time, all right, Nisha, I want you to speak. And I was like, Grandma, what am I going to speak about? Well, the topic is the importance of the girl child. It's like, the importance of the girl child. I don't know nothing about that. I'm like 20. I'm like, I'm in acting school. I just came off of, you know, being a star in Jamaica, billboards and that kind of thing. I'm like still young in my head, like, and I spoke. And during that trip, I also was reading my grandmother's book, No Woman No Cry.
Yeah.
And that book changed my perspective on my grandmother. Because now I was seeing her as a woman, not just as grandma who's this butterfly who's just so magical, just traveling through. Like, I know I saw her pains and like all the moments that she never showed us and has never spoken about in words. Like, nobody never really knew she was working on a book. It wasn't published by a family thing. She did it independently, you know? Anyways, I spoke, and after I spoke, some young women came to me and they're like, wow, sister, you speak so powerful, you know? Here we are building our homes, we are building factories, we are making clothes, we are building schools, but we want to be a part of your movement. What are you doing? And I was like,
I don't know.
I'm totally miserable in film, in acting school in Howard University. DC was gross. The weather sucked. How black people were treated sucked. How they treated themselves sucked because of crack.
Wow.
There was no sunshine, and you know, I'm moving from being on stage 6 nights a week to being in an acting class for an hour and a half per week. Totally underwhelmed. And I just went back to DC and I just packed up my stuff and decided I was going to film school because I needed to understand how to tell my story. Like, that whole experience inspired me so great because that's what these young people were doing.
Yeah.
They were telling their story, you know. So yeah, that's how I got into that space.
So you got inspired by that. You completed film school.
No, not that time.
Wait, so when did you complete it?
Girl, I just completed film school. You know how much shit I've been doing. What the hell?
Just do it.
Like, I just finished it. I just, you know,
Just finished.
just finished film school. After that, I left. I started film school in
How do you
Miami.
get in these projects greenlit then?
I'm greenlit. I greenlit them myself. I don't go to nobody. You
Wow.
know? Like, I've had a journey as a creative. After leaving Howard, acting, went into film, and in my final year, my final semester, came to Jamaica to shoot my thesis film, Children Playing in the Streets, and going to Trenchtown for the first time without my family, and just really settling into the realization that this is where we come from, and looking at the reality of the people, and I was just like, yo, how can I be in a classroom right now with a Spanish person teaching me an English elective, and there's so much work to do. And I left school. I actually did not go back to school for a year. I had the people on camera because I was shooting my thesis film. One bag of madness, leave my apartment, like went on like a whole journey. Because at that time I had just gone around the world with another documentary. Went to 8 countries around the world and about the roots and the evolution of Rastafari.
A soul's journey, that's the name of it.
Seeing myself out there in the world and like understanding what I could do and that kind of thing. I was just like, I cannot be in this fucking classroom like doing this, and there's so much more. Like move back to Jamaica, and me and some other young people, we started Manifesto Jamaica, and one of those persons coined the word reggae revival, Dirty Bootman, because he saw what was going on with the artists them, and that movement was born and it grew. So now you have people like Protege and Kabak and Chronix and Janine, and that whole generation came up off of trying to find a way to use art as a tool for governance. You know?
Wow.
You feel that movement worked ultimately?
I don't know.
Achieve that objective?
I mean, yes, I want to say yes, because there are some seeds that were planted, some ideas that were shared. I see some young people who now represent like who we had hoped the future would look like. Not everybody, but there are ones scattered, you know, and who saw the work and who tuned in and believed. And it's hard, you know, when you don't have any financial support to be able to execute these visions, and you don't have any organizations and time to write grants and shit like that. Like you just have to do the work.
Yeah.
You know, but there's more. There's more.
There's always more.
Yeah, there's always more.
So through your filmmaking journey and the experiences that you gain, it led me to the question, why was Donisha not a part of One Love? The film. Yeah, like I was like, you're an actress, you're a filmmaker, you're a director, like
Yeah,
she
Marley.
must be involved in this. And I didn't see that. What was the reason for that?
Wow.
You had the same thought?
No, she just said, oh, wait, it's just in the leader. No, shut read the time.
No, I was a part of it.
Yeah.
Maybe not the way that I could have been activated to be a part of it, I believe. And there's more, you know. When lead actress came, when Lashana came to see my grandma, she came to see my grandma, my mom was there, helped her to translate for grandma and that kind of thing. And so we were a part of that whole process. And even in helping to champion grandma's voice in the script that we know now, because it wasn't like that in the original script. It was a lot more focused on my grandfather and all of this kind of big thing. And so Lashana was a big part of that as an actress.
Like make it like a love story in a sense.
Yeah, and also
like
just
that.
making sure that Rita had more lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
Simple things like that, and that she had more presence, like, and she did her work. She came, she sat at grandma's feet, like she did her work as an actress, and I respect her for that. And she also advocated for grandma to be bigger in there, because grandma is everywhere. We just don't see her. She's the one who built up the Bob Marley Museum. Not Bob Marley. He wasn't here. She's the one who bought Tough Gang and built it up. Not my grandfather. He wasn't here. You know, like she's done all of this.
Yeah.
She did all of the business. She brought all the kids together. She didn't have to. She was a young woman. How old are we? My grandmother was 35 or 34 when my grandfather passed away.
Wow.
Think about that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So she did all of that. And now being a woman myself and having a child, and I'm just like, she don't have a voice right now to be able to say her story in the way that she may want to, or you know, like. And so, like, I mean, yeah, I just want to make sure to be able to preserve my grandmother's voice and to, you know, create the space for people to remember and to know her beyond what they think. Because on every Bob Marley song, she's there. On every song, she's there. So it's not just Bob Marley here, and it's Bob and Rita too. Still.
Trick question. Do you feel like there was an effort to denigrate her name with Sydney Breakspears name? Not to say that it was Sydney Breakspears doing, but do you feel like there was an effort out there by people?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's complex, right?
Yes.
You know, I come from a mixed family, a blended family, like, you know, like Cindy Breakspear and my grandmother were there at my grandfather's passing. You know, like we come from a different kind of reality that people won't necessarily understand. And in the same breath, they're humans. So even if we see humans exhibiting a certain way, like, you know, people make it into entertainment and that kind of thing, but we're humans, you know? So, yeah, I mean, I see certain things on social media and all that kind of thing, and it makes it really weird, you know? But I just have to, you know, be greater than that because, like, I still have family dinner to go to.
Yeah.
Right? And my grandmother is such that she's a queen. I don't really... You can say whatever you want. You can't take that from her. Like, she's Mrs. Marley. And we don't need to... You know, we just have to respect each other. It's a weird thing. I never hear my grandmother say, oh, my husband this or my husband that. No. My grandmother said, well, Brother Bob, you know, or Nesta or your grandfather. So my grandmother have a different kind of relationship and understanding, overstanding with my grandfather and of their relationship too. Because remember, my grandfather never have nowhere to sleep when he meet my granny, you know. Yo, okay. My grandfather never have nowhere to sleep. Them time that my mother just born. Can't remember my mother born before my grandparents met.
Yeah.
Right? My mother was 3 months old.
Yeah.
Seen? So my grandmother go to her auntie now. After she meet my grandfather and, you know, she realized that beyond any little fluttery feelings or whatever it is, he means a youth that don't have no family. In the ghetto, don't have no love, no home, whatever. And she go to her auntie and she said, Auntie, Nesta don't have nowhere. We can't give him a little room. And auntie say, Rita, you already have one. You want to have more? And you don't have nowhere to put them. And grandma said, no, auntie, it's not like that. Him don't have no mother, him don't have no father, him don't have nowhere. Because these times, like, you know, him moving by himself. And auntie, them times that my grandmother was living with her cousin Dream and auntie in the house. And Dream move out and move into auntie bedroom. So Dream and auntie sleep in the bed. And Bob get Dream room. And grandma have her room with my mother. So you can understand that it wasn't all just I love you and I'm so in love with you and we are so and blah, 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 blah. It's survival them I deal with.
Yeah.
You know, so them think deeper than
like
whatever.
People that make it seem
what's on the
know,
surface.
Can't take it. Whatever.
And like last year on social media during the time when the film did that come, it's like a bag of thing that come up on social media. Like, so,
it was messy.
Yeah. I said, oh, Bob never really want her and they've never really married and all type of sickness.
Like,
what all this doesn't come out now? Like, why them talk and them things doesn't come out?
I don't know.
Why? Like, you ever wonder if it was like a targeted, organized thing?
Well, it's press. Right? It's content. Like, you know, now the Marleys, there's something to say and everybody always go to the hottest thing, which is like, Bob did have enough woman. Okay? Which Jamaican man don't have enough woman?
Yeah. Bob make it cool from a all that time.
Yeah, I mean, cool, but like African man have enough woman too.
True that.
Because them have enough land where them want to govern. It's just that we in the West think that you just have enough woman because you want have enough woman and you can't. Anyway. So, I'm not taking on the drama. And that's, you know, whatever, we have work to do.
yeah.
My grandmother is about work. She don't have no time for this boogie yaga shit. She brought all of the children into the same space and make sure it's everybody good. What else? Anything else?
Exactly. So before we move on to Sugar Dumplin, I want to talk about the film Black Bodies. That's the name of it, right? It was based on a true story. An event that occurred in 2018 in California. Can you tell us about the story behind the film?
Yeah, so We were checking out of our Airbnb after being in LA for a ganja festival called Kaya Fest that Uncle Steve does. And me and my crew were there. We had just documented the festival. We had a great Airbnb stay, yoga in the morning, continental breakfast, one bag of thing. And checking out now, putting our stuff in the car, and Kelly, a former friend, said that lady across the road is, you know that lady across the road is watching us, right? It's them time they see a little like white eye peep through something with her phone. And I'm just like, why? She's like, she's probably going to call the cops. And I was just like, psh, whatever. And I'm just busy doing my stuff because my grandma is waiting on me. I have an event I'm producing later that night with Chronics and Shaka Bars. We were building, we were raising funds to build a library at the Haile Selassie High School. We have real things going on. So I'm not even really pennying that. Anyway, check out, bring our stuff now, driving off now. All of a sudden, swift cars coming, 8 police cars, stealth.
Wow.
No, sorry, no, nothing. Helicopter. Demand them go far.
Yeah.
And all we were doing was checking out and taking our stuff.
I remember seeing it in the news. It's
But they're
crazy.
like, oh, they're thieves.
Yeah.
That's what. So it's like the man them surrounds now. Hands up, and everybody put them hand up. Except for me and my husband was in the car. My now husband and my former assistant, who's white, and everybody put them hands up, and it's like me now. I'm just like, no.
For what?
I'm not going to put my hands up. And he comes around to my window now and he's like, hands up. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to put my hands up. I said, are you serious? I said, I'm checking out on my Airbnb right now. And it's like, the way I respond to him is like him look over to the other guy and it's like, you can see them having a moment. And like, I turn around and I say, as a matter of fact, like, turn on the camera. Turn on the camera there. And she's like, what, are you sure? And I said, as a matter of fact, all cameras live. And I turned to him and I said to him, sir, I'm going to step out of the vehicle now. And everybody camera go live and I'm stepping out of the vehicle. And that's why we have so much documentation. I'm a filmmaker. And I also know that this is how we hold people accountable. Like, turn the camera on. That's why you have police cameras. Cool.
Yeah.
And we step out now and the bridge them is like, them start to explain. And then the sister who was with me say, you know who this is, right? This is Bob Marley's granddaughter. Oh, okay. All of a sudden, the man them want autograph.
Really?
Seriously?
The man them want autograph, everything start cool down. And I'm just like kind of irritated now because I'm just like, okay, well, okay. So can we go? Next one, him step on with him knife a clean film, nails them.
Gotcha.
Well, where's the proof that you were at an Airbnb? We don't know what Airbnb is. And I'm saying, sir, we already went through this. They already talked to the Airbnb host. We're good here, so you just come on with your thing. Everything is good here. So, well, we're still going to have to detain you because we're still checking shit out or whatever. And I'm like, at this time, I'm like, I have shit to do. I have somewhere to be.
Detain?
Like, can we, whatever they're doing? Them time the people are come out and everything and so them start calm down and pack up everything. Everything is all right. So I said, so I'm not going to say sorry? Or just going to go on and just not going to say sorry?
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing to be sorry for. We're just doing our job. I said, oh. Them time that people come out there saying to everybody, everything's okay, ma'am. We got this.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, fuck. Is so black people feeling in America? Because that's not how I feel in Jamaica. And like, the man them trail us to the highway with the helicopter too.
No way.
After that, yeah.
And when I drive down now, I say, yo, what the fuck is this? I can't even really go in at anything because I'm still producing a fucking event tonight.
Yeah.
In LA, not somewhere I'm from. So I was heading to my grandma, so I reached my grandma now and I just walk in there and just walk past everybody and never even say anything. I just go and I just sit down by her wheelchair. I just put my head in her lap and I just start bawl.
Yeah.
And I just start bawl. Because I was shook.
Yeah.
I was shook. Because I was just like, okay, but now I have to just wipe my tears and get in mode to go be on stage. Which we did. And then the next day is like, I still feel like, no man, And so I sent the video to my lawyer, Jasmine Rand, who works with Benjamin Crump, who did the Trayvon Martin case, Freddie Gray, like, you know, all them things there. And I sent the video to her, and before the video even done, she called me and she's crying. She's like, "Are you okay? What's going on?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm cool. She's just like, "Donisha, when I get videos like this, you don't understand. They don't end like this. They end with people getting dead."
It's true, yeah.
Beaten and battered. Huh?
And I'm saying to myself, fuck. Cause I'm still in this mode of I don't do victim. I don't do victim. And I'm just like, fuck, yo. Something could have really gone.
Yeah.
And here I am telling these guys, no, I'm not gonna put my hands up. And someone start going, I'm a social scientist head now. I say, well, what how this how? I say, you have an element of black privilege though, Donisha. Because it's not a normal thing going for you to say to the policeman, no.
Yeah.
You're not going to.
In California.
Right, in anywhere. But in my head, I'm just like, this is ludicrous. What am I deal with? You guys want a scene? Like, because you're dressed up? No. Not even realizing that my life was in jeopardy.
Yeah.
But that is something that I really want to look deeper in. Like, how can we embrace our black privilege in a way that doesn't jeopardize our existence? You know, because all of us have it, you know, because at that moment, they didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
But
Till them all ask an autograph.
But in the moment when I said, no, I'm not putting my hands up, and all cameras live, they didn't know who I was. But I did. You know?
Yeah.
And you know your rights.
Yeah, and I know my rights. And so that's how Black Bodies came about. We created a campaign after that called We Have the Right to Be Right. Because you're going to tell us that you have the right to remain silent. You have the right to this. You have the right. We have the right to be right. How about where? Where's that part? No? And protocol should never supersede humanity. So we started to push for an accountability act. Because the lady who called 911 was never put on camera. Nobody don't know what she looked like. Nobody don't know her name. But everybody know our name. We were all over everywhere.
More than likely a Karen.
Yeah, she was a Karen. She was a Karen.
Yeah.
But, you know, a lot of speaking gigs that I used to get now, they all vanished. Because now I'm speaking about black and white in black and white terms. Because before this time, I wasn't. I didn't have an insight into that. I don't live in that skin.
Yeah.
And so realizing that here we're just a black body, you know, it's something that appealed to all of us. So director Kelly, she approached me and my husband Comey. Comey wrote a poem and I coached him through the acting because I do acting coaching too. And we created this piece. And it's gone on to win a lot of awards.
Wow.
And, you know, we didn't know it was going to do that, but we hoped it would start a conversation, which I think hopefully it has, and it will
turn that traumatic ordeal into
my gosh,
something that is a story of triumph. And as I say, if you win awards from, so
but what do awards mean? You know, because it's just a press thing. Like that year George Floyd died and they needed something. Am I to talk truth or, you know, because when does it become cool to give an award to a film called Black Bodies where you see white people killing black people and talking about it straight? Only in a year when it's cool.
Yeah.
So like it kind of feel guilty getting those awards. I cannot like.
No, man. The awards are valid, you know, because it's an amazing piece of work, you know. But at the same time, I'm clear. Like, let us not strive for success in these systems that have been set forward.
Yeah.
That's why we wanted to use that film in different ways outside of just awards and screens. So even with Sugar Dumplin, just to bridge into this too. That's why we're kind of doing it this way for me. Like, I see the ability for this film to be used as a tool for social impact for dementia in a huge way for Jamaican communities globally. We're not talking about it.
Yeah, we're not.
So many people are going through dementia right now and we're just not talking about it. Before this time, I had it was never something that I thought about. So now that I know, I'm just like, all right, we have Oliver, a legend. We have to go honor him.
Of course.
Number two, we have this beautiful piece of work that Jamaican Canadians have done. We have to go link them with Wagwan so that Jamaican people can say, yo, black film in North America is really being created by Jamaican people.
Yeah.
This just being called black film. Okay, let's get the language together, John. All right. You know, so what we're doing is creating not just the premiere is not just going to be a red carpet premiere, which is great, and I can come take some picture and that kind of thing, celebrate Oliver, but we're creating a community marketplace for dementia support organizations as well.
Ah, nice.
So that audiences can benefit from that engagement, support, ask questions that you typically wouldn't be able to talk to other people, like listen. You know, so it's a different kind of thing, and we're hoping that this film can encourage other filmmakers to do something similar.
Yeah. That looks really good. Trailer's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good. Tell them when it is premiering, where, and where people island-wide and them can see it broadly.
All
Tell
right.
them.
So it's going to be premiering on Sunday, February the 23rd at Sunken Gardens, Hope Gardens. Big up Hope Gardens for being our, first partner on this. And it's VIP reception is from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Gates open 6 to 10. Gonna put on a dandan because it's a red carpet something.
Pretty done.
Yes, and those things. It's a picturable moment. It's a moment that we want to create in the memory of Jamaican people. For sure, something special.
Nice.
But you see me, Oliver Samuels, Chantel Riley, again, it's about dementia, something that's not really talked about. So, man.
Yeah,
to be
Something
supported.
to check out.
Yeah,
I
man.
have to also big up our partners on this, the Ministry of Health, who has come on, the Ministry of Culture, also Bloom Aho Capital, who has come on as a partner, and they're right now trying to raise funds throughout the diaspora to support creative endeavors, which I am just like, yes, this film Sugar Dumplin is that. It's a short film with a great potential. We'd love to make it into a feature, but we don't have a lot of money.
What's the
And
runtime?
this project costed a lot of money for them little 20 minutes here.
No, 20.
Wow.
It's all self-funded, all self-financed. There was no other monies coming in. So, we have the opportunity as well to be independent filmmakers in this way because we have nobody to answer to,
Yeah.
but we need support. So
It's
big up our
expensive.
partners for supporting Grace, who's also in the film and is supporting National Council for Senior Citizen, the Ref, Camila's Kitchen, HOV, my non-profit that I finally created after doing random work in the world and now being like, okay, see the structure here, see the plan here, they can give me some money and trust them I can do it now. All right then, thanks. And
Okay,
yeah,
miss, I just got my certifications in filmmaking.
I know, yeah, but guess what? I have a certification in the world though.
See
Come
that?
Earth has been a classroom, and I still am never gonna show this degree to anybody. So it was really just for the picture. But it happened in COVID, so the picture never happened.
Wow.
So anticlimactic. But I had a baby, and he's beautiful, and I'm married now, and life is settling, and I need to go do my nails because I have a thing going on.
Well,
Sunday red
kudos to
carpet.
you because I can't do
Yeah,
mine.
Yeah, you need to go do your tour.
Time.
then.
Why?
Oh, God. You give thanks, Donisha, for joining us, though.
Yeah, man. you
People make
thanks.
sure and go check out Sugar Dumplin.
Sugar Dumpling. You said
Support
there was another
Caribbean
event,
film.
right? This weekend?
Yes, so Friday we're doing Marley Bloodline on the Skyline, Skyline, not a Mercy. It's so many things that we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Marley Bloodline on Skyline. It's a special show that I'm curating and hosting with my cousins, Johan Marley, Shasa Marley, Mystic Marley. It's important to us because Skyline is somewhere where all of us, grew up. My grandma has a house up there. I literally came from the hospital to Skyline. So it's kind of like a homecoming for, the family.
Yeah.
To
like a
introduce
reunion,
themselves.
in a
Yeah,
sense.
introduce ourselves, I should say. Yeah.
Don't forget Mama McDonald up here,
Lovely.
too. We've been forgetting.
Oh, that would be so beautiful.
Yeah, we've been
She's a G though.
I know she is.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
People that need to know more, too.
Yeah.
say
We
what
like the
after.
G's.
Yeah, we like
Yo.
the G's. Right?
The other day after Kadia's show, Kadia had a show named Rhythm Runway.
Yeah.
So it was so fresh. A collaboration with Kadia, who is the youngest one, and Tribe 9.
Yeah.
She featured 3 different rhythms, taxi rhythm and 2 other rhythms. Sorry guys. But after the show done, Uncle Errol, her father, come and said, say a virgin come to him and said, "Boy, you don't have no more daughter." It's like he must say, yo, the McNadas them create some beautiful children. They want one of the star them.
Yeah, the females them especially.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
offense to the,
No, well, I
you know,
mean, I
to
hope,
the
you
man
know.
them.
Yeah, because it's
At least them
still great.
spouses.
It's what you know, I can't. Yeah, but beautiful family and doing a very important work. Skyline Levels is a cultural institution and it should be
Yeah.
recognized as such. It's not just an event space. It's a cultural institution.
True.
You know?
This month.
So, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, I have a 4-year-old to go and pick up now.
Yeah, I got
Right?
But I got to ask you a smokes blunt question. And I've got too deep with it, but how you feel knowing it's a Rastafarianism start from a ballad?
Yeah, I mean, it's truth. It's just a truth, you know?
From Marcus
And,
Garvey.
yeah,
It
I
start
hope
from balladism.
Well, it's not balladism.
Come.
No.
And Marcus Garvey start, but it start out of Garvey's. Come on, no issue.
Yeah, that's one part. You know, but there's also the conversation of the Ethiopian Orthodox, and
Indeed.
that's a whole lot
Yeah,
deeper
smoke.
conversation.
Yeah,
I don't have
smoke
enough ganja, I don't have enough
We don't
time.
have
Yeah,
much
we
time for
Yeah,
that.
so next time.
People, Donisha Prendergast.
Yeah.
Prendergast.
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 Get it right.
Yes, I always have trouble with that name. The
Yes.
Fix. Shout out Samantha. Yeah.